2. Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu-Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docu-series.
Yes, but through our own lens, honey, which can be, it can be wintry, it can be white, it can be wet, it can be blue, it can be like blue, like, I'm sad. And then it can also be red and fiery, and because it's also like Christmas, like a Christmas red. But at the end of the day, hopefully mildly something sweet. And I mean this, wherever you are, wherever it's happening, if wherever kind of holiday you believe in, I just hope at this time of the year you find some warmth in your life, whether it's the temperature or whether it's love in your life. You deserve it. Hi.
Hello. We're talking 90 Day. We're talking 90 Day Fiance or 90 Days, The Single Life, Season 4, Episode 1. We have finally just joined the single life trend. This is the first time we've done the single life. No, we've done it. Or maybe we've done it separately on our own YouTube channels.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever talked about it together, but obviously it feels like we know what's happening because of the world. I don't always follow the single life, and mostly because a lot of the early episodes had Ed. And I was like, I'm cool. That's honestly, I think, what happened for me in single life.
Yeah. Yeah. But I definitely know that not I know about Josh, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, just so you know, if you listen to Kate Casey, I gave her a little voice note after I watched this episode. And one thing I said in the Kate Casey voice note, which is untrue, is that living in LA, all we have are Joshes. And I mean, getting to watch like an Eastern European mom have to deal with the pussy beta Josh who doesn't give a fuck about like a female's experience in this world and just is like thinks he's too cool for school to like actually take care of a woman, but like thinks that he's just like meh, is honestly my dream come true because listen, if you're like, why should she expect that? I'm not saying she should expect all the things that she does, which is that he's going to suddenly get her apartment. But I kind of do expect that if you've seen the show, you know that Natalie's mom is like, cannot move barely anything. So like, you have to help this woman with her luggage. Like, you just know that. Anyway, moving on. So do you want to start with them, my love?
Sure. Oh, let's start with them. Yeah, so let's start with them. Okay. Great. We start off where Natalie, whatever her name is. I want to call her what her real name is. Like, why do we call her Natalie if her name is like Natasha,
Yeah, Natasha Ushka Bushka, yes. Natasha Ushka, so cute.
So we get a little bit of her backstory, and it is the craziest backstory you've ever heard about how she just jumped from husband to Florida to back to husband, and then she like started something with this guy named Josh, who I happen to think, unfortunately, just
I know I say it.
I think he's so hot. When gross. I saw that LA tattoo, I was like,
he literally treats her like
come over here
like garbage.
Time. Oh please, I just want him to waste my time.
Oh yeah, that's all he does is he wastes your time. And he's gonna treat you like horrible. He's just gonna like use you just to fuck you and then just like move on and just like every part of him and his experience of you is only to feed his own his own narcissistic ego.
And yeah, thank you.
That's true.
But so she tells her mother that this is what the plan is. So she's waiting at the airport with flowers, and we're supposed to believe that she's waiting for a lover. The whole time I knew it was her mother. The whole time.
Oh, yeah.
I knew exactly it was her mother.
I know. It's dumb that they even made us do any of that.
And then when her mother gets off the airplane and I see her mother, and when her mother puts on those like pink, clear, see-through, giant frame 70s sunglasses, I said, oh, this is mother's era was 1973. And that is where she will remain. That is where she will remain. She will do her best to be that dark-haired beauty.
Okay. That's true. One other part is that she has gotten a blow dry, a blowout, and I'm so happy for her. Remember when kind of hair that she had earlier? Remember the kind of hair she had? Let's just think about it. It was like reddish, kind of orange, and what a specific, interesting texture. We don't see it that much, we were just like, oh, just like, did you wake up? Just like. What happened? Like, is it always like that? Does it need a little? Or is it like? Has it like? Is it curly sometimes? Has it ever been curly? Like, what has like so many questions. Like it's like a hair looks like it has a bunch of secrets, that kind of thing, and a bunch of questions. The hair has everything in it. So when she comes out, honey, and it's pressed, I was like, oh, hi TV, hi America. I mean, then they start talking, and I mean, like. Like nothing feels better than people talking in a different language to me. And then just like, I think languages are so interesting. Obviously, accents are fascinating to me. Like, I love hearing it. Like, it's so other, it's so foreign. It's so, like, yeah, like, I don't get to hear that kind of language that much. I just was never raised with it,
But it's just so interesting how pouty she was the whole time when she was talking to her. She's like, Mama,
that is it.
Speaking in my
Yes.
language, speaking in my language, speaking in my language, mommy, speaking in my language. Speaking in my language, speaking in my language, speaking in my speaking in my language. Speaking in my language, speaking in my language. Speaking Josh, speaking in my language, speaking apartamento Josh, speaking in my language. Like, so sick. She's like, and
Pouty.
mother's, yeah, and then her mom's like, like, just, it's
you
just
my
like this.
golden child, but like, in the language.
Yes.
Can you imagine, like, does she have other children? Also, because like if she has other children, that's like really shitty for her other kids, unless they're they're like, oh, we're trash, and this one's on TV. And she's getting her to America in the middle of a war. So come on, what are we expecting?
I don't know. It just seems like such hanger-on behavior. And the
of her mom is hanging on to her?
Just like Natalie's behavior, and then the fact that I don't know, just it feels like a little, I don't know.
Oh no, I would love you to. You don't want to finish it? Okay. I love you. I won't make you because I understand it. Let me tell you. So yeah, then she gets there, and then this is again the best part. I've already hinted at it, but like, fill my soul with glee. So again, Natalie the whole time is like, "Oh, mom, like you're to come to California, land of opportunity. I can't wait for you to be here. My dream's coming true. Fuck Michael, And the whole time, Natalie's mom has loved herself some Michael. Michael went to Ukraine, saw her, hugged her so big, American, but like soft voice, low voice, absolutely hardly a personality. Very like Michael reads not Russian or not the Ukrainian, not Eastern European in the sense of not, he seems like, regardless of your political opinions, like not a guy that's going to truly try and fuck a woman over, like, whereas God bless Josh is like, he, comes being the like owner of a modeling agency and then back off like on internet, supposedly might be married to his baby mama or like still is. And so half the time they're talking about him traveling for work. It's like to go to Arizona where he lives to hang out with this. No. Not that I did a deep dive for you, but I did because I love you so much. So basically they're in LAX, honey. And these two women don't know anything, like it's so big, like they have so many bags. Again, Natalie's mom, and I love you, is like tiny, a Polly Pocket of a mom, like, and her hair is literally half her. She cannot, I mean, to move at all. It's just like a little ant, how do you do it? So she has all of her things. And she, and I mean this from a different generation in a different world, cannot comprehend that her daughter would say that she would trust a man and is in a relationship with a man and has been for months. And this man says, come to California, and he's going to meet her at the airport with the mom and doesn't show up with the luggage. She cannot comprehend that a man would not be there to move and use and know that he needs to do the physical labor of the luggage. And I think it is a stark reality and culture shock that is a very specificness for the culture that we are inundating. And so to see it well, obviously it validates some part of me that like can't stop talking about, but I will. So now Natalie just like starts to feel like, oh, mom, don't worry about it. Just don't ask me about it, whatever. And this is the other fucking shit. Natalie's like, I'm coming to California. Josh and I are going to be together. He's also going to help me find apartment and job. And we're like, Josh, the one that won't even claim you? Bitch, he will not claim you. And I hate to say that. He's not even going to date you. He's not even trying. He doesn't mean, what? He's going to find you an apartment? He can't even find himself. What are you talking about? And this is so hard because if this is true, God bless, I do feel like it's fake. And I feel like she's a great actress for it. But I will tell you this. If it's true, this is a lesson. You can't expect shit. I mean, you can't expect shit, especially from this man. This man's not even pick you up from an airport, much less he's going to find you an apartment and find you a job. And by the way, when she says find me a job, what she wants, honestly, is just a check or a straight deposit or Venmo into her account. So later on, they get to this hotel, honey, because Josh has given her absolutely no money and she thinks that he's just going to find her apartment and it's what she can afford. And it's not, it's not Petite Hermitage. It's not, it's not the Montage or the Waldorf or whatever, it's God bless. It's God bless. And even her mom is like, this isn't for me,
Yeah, I am really, the whole entire situation is really bad. It's sad and it's bad, but
yes,
she gets to go out on a date with him. That's what it feels like, right? She gets to go out on a date with him. So she gussies and puts on this brown pleather or faux leather jumpsuit.
Yes.
And
yes.
This woman only wants to do two things with her lip: put some sort of obscene red on, or put on invisible nude glossy lips.
But having said that, she does know that if she does the nude invisible glossy lip, what she can do is take a fucking black Sharpie, honey, and just around those gray pupils, really, really just Britney Spears it,
She does it so much that I'm like, do you, I think she does it for visual effects. She's like, oh, I put it on this much so that if I were to cry, it would be devastating. Everyone would know I was crying. I want to look devastated. Like she's just to weaponize her tears.
I love, Hama, you deserve an award. Okay. Want something to happen. Yes, honey. Whoa. That is like the perfect example of weaponizing your tears. I'm so happy you said it.
Gosh, she is so crazy. So they go on this date and he literally almost kills her on the skating rink. I felt it for her. I was like, get her off that rink. Cause you know how scary it is to be on her. Like, oh my God, I was so scared. But Chris, how excited was she and how cool did she feel? Or did you feel she felt riding next to him, sitting next to him in his car?
That's the best part of her. That's the reason why she's been with him. I always think it's so funny. Like, why is it a thing that these people get dressed up and then it's like, I'm going somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Oh, it's a surprise. Like, would she have worn brown pleather if she was going roller skating? I mean, I'm not quite sure. By the way, because I'm like a snooty bitch. They go to Long Beach. They're in Long Beach for this roller skating rink. And I mean, which is fine. It's not LA. Long Beach is not LA. And I'm not saying that as like a snooty LA person. I'm saying that as a snooty LA person that lives in Orange County most of the time. That's also in Orange County. It's not LA. Places that are not LA, Orange County, Long Beach. Anyway, God bless. So having said that, he is getting this date for FREE. What is it? Free. For free. It's not romantic. It's not the kind of first date that you haven't seen someone in a long time and they've come with their mom. By the way, like to this moment, he supposedly hasn't met her mom because he didn't come to the airport. So, and she at one point asks her mom if their mom wants to come on the date. And mom's like, no, I'm tired. But like, it's just also interesting. Like he definitely doesn't want to meet the mom. And maybe I mean, everything is telling me everything's a red flag. Yes.
Doesn't think it's worth it.
Not necessary.
Doesn't think it's necessary. Because I really want to know what the miscommunication was. She expected him to be there. He did not go. So either she didn't tell him, she probably just told him when her flight landed. He probably asked her, oh, when do you land? And she said, oh, we landed this time. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. And maybe that's her mind went, oh, you're going to pick me up. And his mind just was like, oh, great. That's news that I now know in my brain. And
Yeah,
then,
for someone I don't care about, and
and
definitely don't care about how they are and their first moments in LA frame,
yeah.
like, they're
So
crazy.
he was
Yeah.
like, you're on a show. Maybe the show is going to set you up or like whatever. So he went about his day. And then, and then, and
You
then,
love him so you love him so much. Like,
yeah,
you are like, "Honey, he could do whatever," you
he
know?
went
He
about his day. And so then she is at the airport, like, oh my God, he's not here. It's because she never said, hey, I need you to pick me up. And he never said I was. He just wanted to know actually when you landed, that was it. There was a
Right.
miscommunication.
Just like the miscommunication that she thinks that he's going to get her a job, and the job that she thinks he's going to get is either a straight Venmo cash deposit or some sort of modeling job, some sort of like glamorous job. And then on this date, he's like, "Well, I have a cousin. I can get you some kind of admin work," which means like, what is she going to be, a car dealership like secretary? What do you mean you have cousins somewhere that can use like a? I mean, that was one of the craziest parts too. Like, by the way, she keeps saying hurrah instead of hooray. Hurrah, LA. Anyway, I just thought it was very
Wait,
interesting.
it's just so wild. And also, not only the Venmo deposit, truly feel that she felt if she didn't get a job, that's when he would bankroll her. Like, oh, I'll provide you with a place to live until I find you a place to live, or I will
Yeah,
provide this until I find you. Like, I will supplement your lifestyle until we find you the things I promised you. He's
100%. She's
mhm.
operating from a cultural difference, B, what she was expecting from Mike, which is someone who took care of her completely, and then also C, like, she was supposed to maybe work with Mike. Like, that was the whole thing. Like, Mike's mom wanted her to work, and she was like, But I am a journalist." And then she's now like wants to be in movies, which we knew the whole
Mhm.
entire time. God bless. She got the same kind of like extensions Danielle and Johan Danielle did. Like, it's like not her color and not her texture and absolutely too long. But okay, God bless.
Wait, I
Um,
have a question. How did
what?
she get changed so quick? So after the date, she's pissed about something I don't remember, and he drops her off at the hotel. She goes upstairs.
Yes, she's in the
She,
elevator.
in the
Uh-huh.
elevator, he comes back into the carport to do his
Mhm,
confessional,
mhm.
and either it takes them so long to set everything up for the confessional. I mean, at least an hour, because then she comes downstairs in a
Yes.
completely different outfit and is like confused that he is still down there filming. She's like,
She
"Oh, he's still here?"
I want there to have been this. I wanted her to go upstairs and then the camera to go upstairs and then her and her mom watches her come in, right? Crazy with the brown outfit and like, tears streaming and is probably like, what, Josh did something? And the whole time Natalie's already been like, Josh is fine. Because Natalie's mom, remember, is like, I love me, Michael. I wish he was Michael. You know who Josh is? It's Michael. I love Michael. Michael, where's Michael? Go back to Washington. You're so dumb. Like that is like what she's been giving. So then Natalie has been like, no, mom, it's fine. Stop talking about it. And like, it's fine. It's fine. And so like, Natalie went up, took off her brown pleather, was crying, crying, crying. And the mom's like, what, Natalie? And my golden child. And she's like, so she goes down, probably takes, and it's like in her like black underparts or whatever. And she has just been thinking about it, pissed. And that's when she comes at him, is like, oh, what are you expecting me to do? I have nothing. I have nothing. I'm absolutely like decrepit. She's just like, I'm obviously freaking out, which is true because she has put everything on the
Mhm.
fact that he was going to give her everything because she's operating from what feels like the most old school, pretty privilege idea that some man is just going to take care of her, and or old school traditional, and or Eastern European, and or what was, I get everything. But it doesn't ever feel like, I will tell you, that Josh made certain promises, because in Josh's complete character of what we know him, he's always been a fuck boy. I mean, fuck of a
Yeah.
boy. And I'll tell you,
Oh,
Wahama specifically
yeah.
wants to fuck that boy, but I'll tell you right now, he's a fuck boy with an I at the end. But yeah,
Oh, a
she's been thinking about it.
complete waste of time.
I
Oh,
know it. And by the way,
yeah.
probably Dirty Dick. That's like
Oh
reaming
my
with like, oh, think of,
gosh.
I'm sorry. Well, then
No,
that's true.
don't say
Well,
that to
think
me.
about it. Take care of yourself. Anyway, God bless. Uh, so
Always.
she won't.
First of
She
all,
won't.
always.
So I
Whew.
know you. I know. I'm on point with you. I know
Okay.
you do. But she
There we
would. She
go.
won't. You know. So she like wants to also shame and guilt him to realize that he needs to figure shit out for her because she hasn't. And he kind of starts to say things like, "Well, what do you expect?" And you're like, "Well, honey, a lot." That's all I have to
Yeah.
say.
Yes. So let's move on to Tyree.
Oh yes.
All right. So we talk about Tyree. Tyree still says that he was catfished by Carmela. And I was like, stop saying that. You were not catfished by Carmela. You were catfished by Christian.
Yes.
Okay.
Who's no
Um,
Christian? I don't know.
yes. So Tyree is starting to work out now. And I think he's lost a little weight. I think I'm seeing a little reduction.
Hmm.
So I'm really happy for him. I'm happy that he's starting to move his body. And he says that he has always struggled with weight. He's the eldest of four. I think his father died or was, met an untimely death. I think it was a violent death, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a violent death when he was very young, and so there's been a lot of, I guess, stress and pressure put on him. And as of now, he's like a 34-year-old version. He hasn't really even kissed anybody.
Yeah, that part.
He went to prom with his cousin. And he has no problem talking to girls normally, but when it's anything other than that, he has a huge issue. And he's just looking to meet somebody, but not online. He wants to meet somebody in person this time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I respect that. It's hard to read body language. He feels like, yeah, he obviously doesn't want to be catfish and he wants to feel comfortable. And I love me some Tyree, and I'm so happy he's on Single Life. Like it's interesting. Some people you're like, oh, good, I'm so happy. I want to see you like thrive and move on. Another person can be like that we haven't is not going to be on this episode, but Johnny McManus is on it. Sparkle.
oh, great.
Like, are we like so happy about
Yes,
that?
yes,
Like
yes.
it's a good
God.
fit.
Mhm.
But he also says Tyree, that his big crush is Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton because she's strong, she's a Scorpio, she's a freak in the sheets, but she has a wholesome look.
That is the craziest thing anyone
Yes,
could ever say.
that's
And
true.
yeah, and I am like, not, that is, I feel like not appropriate,
It's just so it's a joke or not. Here's the thing. You know what's funny about it? I don't know the answer to that. That's the tone of it is like, is it real?
Yeah, it's like the kink to me. I'm not kink shaming him. What I'm saying is that not every kink is for everybody. And like that one upsets me, so I don't want it. N- Nor do I want to nor do I want to know about it. So I'm not kink shaming. I'm just saying I don't want to know about it. Okay. And then then the other side is that he he also didn't laugh fast enough afterwards.
Yeah,
Because
no.
because here's the truth. If it is a joke, he's an actual comedian because his timing is great. He actually did a clip to where he didn't laugh long enough for them to splice it to where we don't know.
Yep.
So it's a mystery to be solved. Is he
We
an
gotta
actual comedian or is he serious?
Yeah, the toe. Yeah, we just a blink, blink, and you're like, all right, buddy, could be either A, either B. Well, remains to be seen.
That
I
shit was
like
wild.
Sean could ask him on the tell-all, just like straight up, just because we honestly divided audience. Is that real? And we'll see. Take bets. Wait, can we talk about I love this scene. So then basically he has said this, which is that he can talk to people when it's under the guise of being friends or whatever, but like for some reason when he has to like make a romantic turn or he has to put himself out there, when he has to be vulnerable, the fear of rejection is so terrifying because maybe because of his weight or whatnot that it just is overwhelming. But he has this friend in his life that he's been friends with for a long time, and people see him together. They're always just kind of like, hey, how about you and this lady,
Mhm.
and her name starts with a J, I think. So then they go to like have a meal, and Tyree brings his friend beautiful, thoughtful, bespoke flowers. And I'm just like, that's the reason Tyree deserves all of you and all of your heart, Wahama. And you know who doesn't?
Mhm.
Josh. Anyway, you know who's not gonna ever bring Natalie anything? Not one piece of weed. Not even like the good weed. I mean, definitely not like, like a weed that'll kill a flower. Absolutely nothing. Josh. Anyway, so here he is bringing his friend who won't even fuck him, fucking beautiful flowers. And then they have a conversation where they're like, how do I? So the other thing is Tyree has a cousin, and Tyree's cousin's having a party. And one time at Tyree's cousin's funeral, he met this girl named Tiffany, and he wants to now go to Tyree's cousin's barbecue and ask Tiffany out or whatever. And so he is asking his friend that he brought flowers for, that he also should maybe date. I'm not quite sure, like how to do it. Did you love this scene?
It was trying to be cute, but
Oh,
it felt a little bit like do-do, do-do,
yeah.
do-do, 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 do-do,
Okay.
do-do,
Yeah.
do-do. Like, I was just so upset. And
Well,
then
but it doesn't every scene kind of until we get him there. Yeah.
but then he laughs, and it's like, I don't know. I was trying to remember his laugh and I can't. I don't know. It's like like it sounds like he's like up to something. Um it was cute. It was cute. She was like, you got to learn to take rejection, number 1, and that you can't seem so nervous and so awkward. But yeah, when he actually went to the party or whatever, it was a lot of that laughter, that nervous laughter. He was just like sweating. It was so bad.
I thought he looked super cute in his blue plaid. He had the blue plaid shirt, and he kind of had like plug earrings, like these white okay, I can't tell you right now if I didn't know what these earrings were. If whether the earrings were that they were a plug earring, like he had stretched out his hole, or conversely, if he had just big white dot earrings, like
What
the
had he
kind
done? He had what had he done?
plugs in
No,
his
how
hole.
he had but what had he done? Stretched out his hole?
You know how your lobe, how like, I
Uh-huh.
you're right. I don't know. Talk about, yeah, I mean, you're right. That sounds so, I know. I think about it today. I get that this is a look, and it's such an interesting body modification when people stretch out their earlobe holes. But I mean, just that's, you see it and you're like, "Pfft, what a thing." Unless it's like a cultural thing, but always it feels, and what I'm talking about, it's always skater emo peeps. Anyway, go bust. So he has like these earrings that I can't tell if they're like 1950s, 60s style, like female earrings that are like just white dots, or whether they're an actual like piece
I
that
don't
has.
even know either.
I
Let me
know
look.
it, but I loved it so much. Then he goes to this thing. There's a bunch of food, and then Tiffany is there. When he first walks by Tiffany, she doesn't really do much, and I'm like, oh my god. At first, I'm like, is Tiffany on your team? Is Tiffany like? I was like, I hope this isn't a whole thing where Tyree doesn't understand if like how to read social cues, but no. He's like, hi. He's like, oh, his food looks good. I get one of these fries, and it's like, a little on the nose, Tyree, a little on the nose. Remember that fitness journey. Okay, God bless. But I like to eat and when I'm anxious too, so I 100% get it. Plus, it's like the danger at a party. It's just like moving around that grazing table. Tiffany has been told what's up, I think, by one of Tyree's many adoring family members, the brother, the sister, because Tiffany comes over and basically invites him to invite her on a date.
Wait. Tiffany comes over and invites him to
To
invite her.
invite her on a date.
Yeah. She was about that business. She
She
was
knew.
like,
There was an
"Hey."
objective.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, he does have plugs. Yeah, he
Oh,
does.
okay.
Okay, first of all, I want you to know that I went into this is a cute picture of Tyree. I'm gonna send it to you. I went into I just Google and I just wrote Tyree, and it immediately took me to his Instagram. It took
Mm.
like, I'm like, dang, good for you, Tyree.
Yeah, I bet he's getting I hope he's getting a lot of love. Do you think by now he's boned? Okay. I don't know. Okay, so
I
okay.
would hope so. I would hope so. I would hope so. Good for him. I not thought about it, and then I thought about it, and it was a flash, and I didn't want that flash, and then I got over the flash, and now I was able to answer your question. That's what happened. Don't worry, I'm here.
If you had
Um,
to if you had to go eat out, bowl, or get massages, with him, which one would you do?
bowl, eat, or get massages.
Yeah.
Get massages.
I I'd bowl. He doesn't wanna skate, so it's not an option.
Yeah, I would love to get a massage with anybody.
Like, but you know why I was like, am I in the same room?
Yeah, no, yeah, in the same room. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see that. That's
Do we talk the
interesting.
entire time? Are
No,
we like
I don't
for the
want to be
next
talked to.
well, what if you had a massage but he just keeps talking to you?
I tell him I don't want to talk.
Okay. Well, that's not a date, is it? I mean, you know, I don't know what, yeah, I would have thought it's like, okay. All right, let's move on. You're horrible.
No,
We have
you're right.
no,
You're
you're
right.
bad.
I
No.
completely forgot it was a date. You're right.
Okay, so let's move on. We have Debbie and Chantel left. What do you want to do?
Okay. Let's talk about Chantel because I think that's to me sad. First of all,
Debbie's happy because okay.
yeah, Stubby's happier than
Huh.
Chantel. Dang,
Huh.
what is happening with Chantel? Chantel just got out of a 5-year marriage, all of which was basically documented in front of the entire world,
Mhm.
all of which was fraught with drama and just disaster the whole way through, from because of her family, because of his family, just
Mhm.
because of all kinds of shenanigans, right? And it's 6 months after being divorced and going through a bad like breakup, and she's now in Greece trying to trying to, I don't know, get over it or not move on or look for love, but I don't know what. And yeah, she's going to have that kind of moment. 6 months is not enough. Baby girl needs to step out of the game for like 2 years. She needs to
Yeah.
heal.
I agree. Shouldn't be her single. Like this. Here's the thing. They're trying to, and I get it. They do paint this moment of her single life. It's not her dating to find the one now. Just her learning how to date because Chantel got booed up real young, and like, so it's been a minute since she's been in the game, and it's like, it's a hard game. So Chantel is going to have a Chantel party in Greece. So it feels like at least the first part of the season will be Chantel living her life in Greece with her friends. Now, I haven't watched Family Chantel enough to know if these friends are people we should know.
Nope.
Okay. But I wrote down their names. There's Destiny, Kayla, and Mooney. Now, I like Destiny, and Kayla is okay, but like Kayla and Mooney are a little too like they're screaming the majority of the time. Now, where it works out is definitely like in the car when they're having fun, but as they move through Greece and kind of like try and get men, it becomes a little too much for them. And and for me. But Chantel will give us this. Chantel is going to go to Greece. She wants to find a Mediterranean man. She likes, she keeps saying she likes non-American men because she wants men that are adventurous that will travel with her, even though low key, like that's why she didn't like Pedro, like he wouldn't do anything with her except like cheat on her with like, like his real estate biddies or whatever, God bless. Chantel brings the kind of travel outfits that is like a real housewife would bring on a trip. I mean, every shoe she brings is designer. Whether they are all real, I'm going to give it to her that I think they are because she has her own show. You know what I'm saying? She has like 2 sets of like Hermes sandal. I mean, she's bringing every designer. I mean, she's like, like all of her outfits look gorgeous. She pulls up to this, like hotel. Her boobs are just beautiful. Like, I mean, she's a beautiful girl. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
in
they're
the
like
car, they're taking shots. Yeah.
juicier than ever, those titties right
God.
now.
I mean, like, and her friends are hyping her up. So, like, I get the fact that they're hyping her up. So they start to do too much when we go out to the actual bar because they're just
Oh
like
no,
screaming at her
it
and
was
stuff
too
like.
much with the cucumbers.
Well,
That was too
I'll
much
be
for
honest.
me.
For me, yes, but I'm not the kind of girl that likes penis straws for like bachelorette parties. So like that just kind of feels like that would be for me anyway. But yes.
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't after that.
Chantel's body in this dress. So she says that her friend Mooney is her twerk instructor. She gets taped into this like Grecian green gown that she can't wear panties for, that's like cut up her thigh. And she at one point is standing by a bar and they give her a drink and she does this low key like dance twerk where her thigh and her butt look unbelievable. I mean, unfathomably, wildly, happily hot for her, where I'll
Yeah.
never do what she can do. It's crazy what she'd like. I'm just like, "Ugh." I'm really, I think I thought in that moment, I'm like, oh my God, for the rest of her life, she got to have that moment on TV, just that one moment. But she
Yeah.
had a lot of shitty ones, so she deserves this one too.
Wait a minute. What tape did they put on her vagina?
So yeah, her friend,
I've never even
Kaylee,
heard of that. I didn't know it existed. Why do you need to like tape the lips?
baby
Do you
boo,
know
they didn't tape the lips.
what they do?
They just taped like the kind of like the inner part of her thigh, the kind that if you go into an like a Korean spa, they're gonna scrub that part. They're gonna tape the inner part so that her dress doesn't literally show her vagina because she can't. She's not taping lip and labia. That's like down here. They're taping like. Wait, they're taping like here. My red nails.
Okay.
This is that.
Okay.
That's my red nails are about my thigh, then like
Okay.
where's your thigh? Like
And they're taping there?
yeah, because then the piece of fabric lays there and doesn't show the vulva.
Oh.
If you're on Patreon, I'm using my fingers to show what I'm talking about. You're really missing a fun thing. So now it becomes a game of like trying to get guys to like ask her out. They give her this thing like literally a bachelorette party, like you have to get 5 numbers. Okay, so this is where it's like, this is not my jam, but if this is the jam and this is the style, this is what it is. But it's like every part of this part is just like, ugh. She's like, I don't want to have to get people's numbers, and they're like, well, it's just practice. And listen, I do also like the idea, if you need help, Tyree, to go into a situation being like, even if this is not normally what I would do, can I let go of my inhibitions just to get something done? Like Tyree should get 2 shots in him and go around a bar and just get 5 numbers. Just get the fucking 5 numbers. I mean, it doesn't make a difference if they say no or not, because your goal is not to get on a date, just get 5 numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she ends up getting the number of a fisherman named Adonis. And
He's not. And he's not away. And by the way, he didn't give 2 shits about her. He was just kind of like,
I'm actually half Dutch. Anyways, so she does that. And then
it was a good Adonis.
she talks to another one, Elonis or something, and he has a motorcycle. And so she gets on the back of that bike. And that's a good shot too. Her ass
Yes.
driving away on this motorcycle.
And Emilio's
yeah,
20, by the way.
Who's 20 years old.
Hot as hell.
And it's funny because they're like, he's 20, and everybody in her friend group goes, aw. It's like, yeah, that's how we all feel. That's so funny. I never knew. I mean, when we were 20, it's different for us, but there were 20-year-old guys our age who were going up to older women, and those women were like, boo, no, we don't want you. Unless they weren't.
It's so funny because some people look their age and some people don't. There are 20-year-olds that don't look 20s, and there's 20-year-olds that look 2, and there's 40-year-olds that look 60, and there's 35-year-olds that look 20. I mean, I don't, you really have to just look like, I've always needed people that look like a man. That's just where I still haven't found men that look like men. Anyway, God bless. Yeah.
So, anywho, oh, I lost my train of thought. Who are we talking about?
Chantel going on the bike ride with Emilio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then they're like, remember the friends like,
so
hey,
she gets off.
You feel that boob on the back?
Oh, yeah. She gets off. She gives him an open mouth kiss. And I was like, that's weird, going in with mouth open. I was like, oh, is that what you do? She's like, oh. And I was like, oh, I've never done that. And I could tell she's a little tipsy. And then after that happens, she starts crying because she's like, no, I did it again. That's what happened with me and Pedro. Pedro took me on the quads and DR. No, I made the mistake. And so then she started freaking out and crying over 20-year-old Emilio because she got on the back of his bike. And it reminded her of Pedro. And I'm then again, I feel silly for watching a woman on a show who's clearly not ready to even remotely be doing anything like this because she just we are seeing her rebounding from basically the love of her life, you know? Anywho.
Yep, honey. Okay, last but certainly not least is
Miss
your happy
Debbie.
favorite. Yeah. Debbie and Osha. We had so much fun doing that. But wow, this is great information for us. So obviously we open up and she's just like roaming an alpaca farm, whatever. This is like
She's a
neither here nor
llama.
there.
Ooh, someone took a poo over there.
Yeah. And she's like, this is my next act. But one thing that she does tell us is that I think is interesting is Osama has been blowing Miss Debbie up. And not only that, miss call, when you see the texts from him, he's mean about it. Like, hey, Debbie, act your age and answer me. Like, it's such an interesting maneuver. Like, I'm sorry, your way to get to me is for you to be mean to me?
Yeah. Yeah. You think you're going to be rude? You're going to scare me?
You're going to insult me?
Belittle me?
The one that doesn't want to talk to you? I've already decided not to talk to you. Think, honey, I'll catch a bee, honey, with death? Anyway, sorry. By the way, I forgot this. So you just have to tell me this. Obviously, we know that she has a man named Julian in her life, her son. Do we know that she had another kid named Sandy this whole time?
Yeah.
Okay, we just forgot about Sandy, or I just forgot about Sandy? Okay, great. Go on.
Yeah, no. So I love that she talks about Sandy's dad too. I mean, yeah, because Sandy's dad is the one she was married for 20 something years who cheated on her. She was like, yeah, woo, you say about Latin lovers. And then the way she said about after having sex with him, not being able to walk the next day was wild. This woman is wild. She's like, not able to walk the next day. And I'm like, yes, Miss Debbie. Yes. Okay. So, anyways, she's decided that her kids are off doing their own thug fizzle. And so she wants to use animals as some kind of help for people who have, I don't know, nervous problems. I'm not sure. Something she want to do with people petting animals. So she's on this llama farm seeing if she can have some kind of charity. Some people loving animals. I don't know. And she's like, you don't think I'm too old, do you? Because most people think that when you reach my age, 67, that you can't do certain things. But that's simply not true. And so they're like, no, Debbie, you can do anything you want. She's like, great. So then the next scene we have with Debbie is we find out that she wants and loves dancing. So she goes out dancing, and this is all to help let go of the energy of Oshama, because Oshama is still plaguing her. There's still things around the house that remind her of Oshama, and one of the ways that she's been dealing with it was hanging out with her friends and also doing paintings. Debbie has decided that she has to paint Osama as death in her paintings. So she has him as like a little skeleton or something like that, to signify him as death, but things remind her in her home of him and all manner of stuff. So that's one aspect. So she gets ready and she goes out with her friends, and now her love of feathers and all things frilly and frou-frou, she's out and she's obviously the loudest person there, but this placement of eyeshadow that she has up in here and up in here, it's just so interesting. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I think that, okay. When you buy CoverGirl, especially the 90s, and they would have the eyeshadow tool that was whatever that eyeshadow tool was.
Uh-huh.
Debbie uses that still to put on eyeshadow. She does not use a brush.
Okay.
I can tell when you have older ladies that have that like highly pigmented kind of like garage door-esque looking stuff that like is in a rounded shape like that, that it was made with that tool. Like that's what it feels like. So
sponge on a stick type
yeah,
thing.
it's like, God, it's like the applicator. I forgot. It's like, it's a sponge, sure, but it's so funny because it could not have been worse to put on eyeshadow. But and a brush is so much easier. But I will say this: she goes dancing lessons. They're like bachata lessons. I want to do it.
Bachata?
Yes, I want to do it.
Mhm.
I want to
Chris
go
wants to go
dance. I dance.
dance, dance,
Dance. I dance.
dance, dance,
Dance. I dance.
bailar.
Bailamos.
Mm.
Do the rhythm take you over? Debbie and Chris, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, now I'll tell you this is the saddest part. So, but this is where Tyler should really give himself some Debbie energy. Debbie's like, I'm gonna get myself a man. I'm gonna get on that dance floor, and it becomes a lady's choice. Sadie Hawkins, honey. She gets to go up to some young guy who's younger than her and like be like, I'm gonna ask him out. Now I want a guy that's not gonna judge me by my age. So she asks this guy to dance. They're dancing and he is being nice, but it's obvious that he's not like craving some more Debbie in his life. And so he does the thing where he starts to kind of like try and talk to another woman in front of her. And she's like, oh, absolutely not. Red flag. I'm not going to do that anymore. And it's like, yeah, it's hard out there for us all. It is. I mean,
get in line, Deborah. Get in line. Yeah, Debbie likes Latin men. Oh my God.
Honey, he was sitting on 2 legs and I couldn't walk the next day on mine. Like, I'm sorry. Parts of her, honey, I'm like, she's like a Mae West student. No, I just love it so much. She did so good. I'm so happy for her. Sean, everyone I'm happy about that we've seen, like even Natalie, who's like kind of fake and crazy, and like expects too much. Like, I'll be honest, I don't not want to see it. And obviously we know what parts you want to see.
Yeah, Natalie is riveting. She's riveting.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
She's very interesting.
She's great TV.
All right, you guys, if you want to see the visuals of what you're listening to right now, you'll join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties for $10 a month. Again, you get to see the visuals of what you're listening to, as well as exclusive content, such as a live every first Monday of the month. But maybe not in January. I have a class on the Mondays. So
I'll do it. Honey, I'm here for who's holding up? Who's there to like give you everything you want?
Hold it down?
My name, Chris Farah.
Okay,
yeah.
Chris has got it. So if you want to see Chris every first Monday of January and I'll be there afterwards, join us on patreon.com/DocuSweet, $10 a month. But if you can't do that, Chris will give you those free options.
Honey, just go to social media. Just follow us, like all our posts whenever you can. Just help the engagement. We are at DocuSweeties on Instagram, at DocuSweeties on TikTok. We are at DocuSweeties1 on X/Twitter. We are on Facebook, the DocuSweeties podcast Facebook group. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much. Give us 5 stars if you haven't yet. What a great little gift, honey. Little New Year gift and a little 5-star review. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.